The space station is made up of more than 30 major components, from laboratories to habitation modules to solar arrays, all joined together in space.
It is one of the great engineering achievements of all time. And Boeing was the systems integrator. Boeing made sure that when you plugged in the Russian modules with the US modules and the nodes in between, that they didn't catch fire, or that they didn't start to send errant signals to each other.
The ISS is where astronauts are learning how to survive for prolonged periods in space. What is learned here will make possible the trip to our next destination in the solar system, Mars. A journey to Mars will be a round trip of at least 70 million miles and could take longer than 2 years. A mission so long and so ambitious that its challenges would dwarf those of Apollo. On the most basic level, the human body is not designed to survive for long periods in a microgravity environment.
We have bone loss, which we can now control. We have muscle wasting, which we can kind of control. The immune system gets degraded in space. So we see the human system react to the microgravity environment. We want to use space station to make sure that there's not a problem when we're going distances as far as Mars for 2 or 3 years, that the human body will not have any detrimental effects from the journey.
A voyage to Mars will require a rocket even more powerful than the Saturn V that took men to the moon. NASA has contracted with Boeing and other companies to build the Space Launch System, or SLS.
I wish it could be publicized more, because even when I talk to my friends and I tell them, hey, I'm working SLS, they're like, are you working on a Mercedes-Benz? Like, what is a SLS? Like, what is that? And I have to tell them it's a Space Launch System. And they ask me, can you talk about it? And I'm like, you can Google Space Launch System. NASA has a whole website on it.
But getting to Mars will require much more than a massive rocket.
You're gonna need a habitat while the crew is traveling to Mars. You're gonna need a Mars lander to land on Mars. You're gonna need a Mars ascent vehicle to get off of Mars. And then you're gonna need a way to get back home. So I would call it the most challenging mission in history.
Whether people today have the will to take on the risks and the hardships of going to Mars, as well as its massive costs, is an open question.
There's many activities we can spend our resources on, but why is space important? And we really are toying with the big questions. You know, are we alone? You know, why are we here? Is our planet unique? Those are big questions, and I think as a species, it's ingrained in us to try to answer those questions.
We'll go to Mars someday with man. It's going to happen. I think man's DNA is built on exploration, and he has to do it. So I think he'll eventually go.